welcome to Geneva TV. It's the first episode. The show's about meeting with people in New Zealand that are doing great things in the health sector, for the health sector, around the health sector. My name's Ronnie. I'm the Chief Executive of Geneva Healthcare. Today I've got with me here Amanda, who's from the MSD, and she's going to talk to us about what she is working on with our General Manager from MySkill, Anita Guthrie. So, welcome, and I hope you enjoy the show. Okay, Anita, welcome to Geneva TV. Can you give us a little bit of an insight as to what you do at MySkill?
Sure. So I'm actually lucky enough to be the General Manager of MySkill, and MySkill being a small private training establishment really focused on the home and community sector. So my role is to ensure that our support workers have easily accessible and relevant training, both at qualification level, so NZQA qualifications or unit standards, or clinical or advanced competencies.
Fantastic, and I know a lot of providers in the sector are very grateful for MySkill, so you do a great job. Amanda, would you like to tell us a bit about what you do at the MSD?
So I'm the Director of Industry Partnerships for MSD, my role and my team's role, to come up with innovative ways to engage people for skill shortages and opportunities in the labour market, and especially for people who are disadvantaged in the labour market.
And have you noticed, I guess, this partnership with MySkill and yourselves, that is this due to the COVID, the amount of people that are out of work for COVID and trying to get them back into an industry that, could you talk to us a bit more about that and how it came about?
Yes, I think it's been, we've been talking to MySkill for a wee while, but it was just incredibly good timing because what we found with COVID is people not only were displaced from their usual work, but also people were rethinking what they want to do. Yeah. They were rethinking lives and careers and actually the contribution they wanted to make to their communities. And we found that other times we've tried to get people interested in healthcare and they've been a little reluctant, but there was something about the time and the approach that's really resonated with people.
Yeah, and I believe that, I think when I became a nurse, I was always, this is a job I can have forever, no matter what, and I think that the pandemic has really taught us that that is true. So it's a really great initiative. And Anita, do you find that since the pandemic, with this amazing partnership, that you're getting a strong interest from people in the community and different providers?
The interest in across people wanting to look at this, joining the sector, has been huge. And what's been really exciting with our ability to partner with MSD and employers such as Geneva is that it gives the person thinking about either a change in career, they might have lost their job, they might think their job could be in jeopardy, or they actually just want to give back to the community. They can actually have some training which enables them to get a taste of what it's like to work within the community support or healthcare sort of sector. And then once they've completed those introduction modules, they then can work with us and we can connect them to employers like yourself, and then we can continue their journey to their support of their training. So at the beginning of their journey with a new employer, they're fully supported, they're getting the qualification that they require, as well as some additional specialist topics. So it's been huge. A lot of really broad range of people knocking on our doors to say, hey, we'd be really interested in looking at this. It's been great.
That's fantastic. And I know, talking to a lot of other health providers in our sector and other CEOs and people and culture leaders, that this is something that they're blown away by, and I believe it's free of charge. Anita?
Yep, absolutely. So there's no cost to the learner, and there's also no cost to the employer. And the employer has that sense that MySkill's behind them, supporting their new employee, making sure that they've got the right learning support in place. So it really ensures that the employer can really focus on the skills training and getting that person used to the sector while we pick up the rest. So no cost either way.
That's great. And one of the questions I got from a support worker in Kaitaia was, do they need to come into one of the main centres to do the training? And I believe they don't. They can do it online.
Look, it's all done by e-learning, and our experience in e-learning has been built over a huge number of years. What we know is majority of people across New Zealand will have access to some smart technology, and we employ a team of really dedicated learning support facilitators who actually are skilled at supporting people through different mediums versus bringing somebody into a classroom. So the training can be done at any time they wish. And our learning facilitators are on the end of a phone, Zoom, like I am today, or via email. So it's a really easy way to support somebody.
That's great. And I was interviewed during COVID by the Epidemic Select Committee, and one of the questions I was given by David Seymour was, can you put people, 100,000 displaced people from the tourism industry into jobs that I was describing, such as, personal care type work? And I sort of said to him, it would depend if they want to. What's your thought? And I think you've touched on that they're actually looking for a change, something more secure, something that's, making them feel a bit like they're giving back. Do you think that's going to be a problem?
Well, I think one of the opportunities for this is that people can find work where they want to live, rather than having to go to a large city to find work.
Brilliant.
So it's a real sort of a bonus from the COVID situation, is quite a lot of people went home to where they came from to be in lockdown, and they thought, actually, I really like living here. I really like the community. What can I do here to stay here?
Yeah.
And healthcare is one of those things that every community needs.
Absolutely.
And on lots of different jobs, offering lots of different careers. I think the other thing about being able to learn from where you are is that people learn different ways, and they learn at different paces.
Yeah.
And if you haven't been into a classroom or been learning for a while, it's really great to be able to do it in your own time, in your own space, from your own home. This is the sort of modern way of career change.
Absolutely. And I had a read of the, I'm still reading it, the Health and Disability Review, and a lot of it's talking about a lot of our disabled people and people that are needing work are not in urban areas, they're in rural areas or more regional areas, and that's where our people who have injuries and disabilities live, because the housing's cheaper. So this sort of connection feels really, it just feels really warm and snuggly, and it feels like it's going to work. So how long will this take, do you think, to this project and getting people trained, Anita?
So what we've got is we've got an opportunity with MSD until the end of September, and our opportunity is really to be able to showcase, working across the sector with MSD, that we can actually find and connect the right people to the right employers right across New Zealand, both urban and rural areas. I actually think now is a fantastic opportunity for the sector to attract different and new people in. We know that the health sector has an ageing population, so we know that actually majority of the people we work with are females. Now's the time that people can actually, or an employer can actually attract much different people.
Yeah. Brilliant. So Amanda, what would be, if you were describing it to someone that you thought could benefit from this, entering into the training, what would be your kind of 30-second blurb to them?
Well, from our point of view, I think that the healthcare sector is being explained and showcased by experts.
Yeah.
So there's somebody who understands the sector, who is telling people who are interested in the sector all about it.
Yeah.
So for us, that's a great bonus, because we have a lot of people who are frontline, who are very busy, you'll appreciate at the moment, and they're not industry experts in everything. Yeah. So this is a way that we go straight to the industry and get the industry to showcase. And I think what we've found from the people we've talked to is that people are amazed at the variety of careers. Yeah. So everybody goes to the elderly caring and all sorts of things, but they've actually realised care has a lot of different facets. There's a lot of different points that you can go in. There's a lot of things that you can do once you're in the career
It's
path.
amazing.
It's absolutely
It's
amazing.
amazing.
And it is one of the sectors that is not a sunset industry.
I know.
I mean, we're an aging population.
I know.
And I think people have realised too, as I said earlier, as I touched on, that people want something a little more rewarding.
Yeah.
And caring for somebody else is the greatest gift that you can give.
It is.
It's a great opportunity for us to get people really interested in a sector that needs great people and needs good New Zealanders to be part of.
It's amazing, thank you. And Anita, what would you say to someone who was looking to enrol? What's your 30-second, this is going to change your life statement?
Give it a go. Do the introductory course and learn about our sector, and then you can make a really sort of decision based on some better knowledge.
And what have they got to lose?
Absolutely, they've got nothing to lose. What we know is our people are there to support them, and they will get through all the way.
So just before we leave, Anita, can you talk us through how the people that are interested in the course or an employer signs up to take part in this project? How do they do that?
We've made it as simple as possible. All the information's held on the MySkill website, which is www.myskill.co.nz. If you're an employer, all you have to do is contact us directly. We will walk you through how it works, what the process is, and how to get your information onto our website. And if you're a learner, there's a really easy form to complete, and one of the MySkill team members will call you within 24 hours. And they'll then make sure that you're online, connected to the learning as soon as possible, and off you go.
Gosh, that sounds pretty easy to me. Well, thank you so much for your time, Amanda. I've learned a lot, and Anita, I continue to learn a lot from the amazing things you do, and I want to thank everyone that's watching for listening, and I hope you've learned a lot as well. Thank you. So that's it for today's episode, team. I'm really excited about today's show, so please log on to myskill.co.nz to find out more about how this can change your life. Also, I'd love for you to like or subscribe, because we've got so many more amazing people to come and talk to us all about the health sector, the great things they're doing, the things that can affect you and your families in the future. And of course, we like to keep it simple and light. So log in again and look forward to the next show. Bye.